So I'm going to start in a kneeling position on our mat, and we're just going to push back into a child's pose. So we're going to sit on our heels, legs spread wide apart, and we're going to stretch our hands out to the out across the mat. Place your forehead down onto the mat, and we'll just take a few deep breaths here. So inhale and exhale through the nose, yogi breath. Just going to really start to slow down our breath here and really reach those fingertips out and really feeling the stretch in your upper back, in your lats. Take a few breaths in your own time. Really relaxing into this pose. And we're going to push up onto our fingertips, bring your knees in, and we're going to come into a neutral tabletop position. So your knees stack directly under your hips. Shins are parallel to one another, toes untucked. Wrists directly underneath the elbows, and we're just going to have a nice flat back, eye gaze between your thumbs. And we're going to inhale, we're going to arch the back, down, push your belly down and bring your head up, eye gaze up towards your third eye chakra in between your eyes and your forehead. And we're going to exhale as we push through. Lengthen your spine, push your spine up to the sky for our cat pose. We're going to inhale, arch the spine in the opposite direction, push your belly down to the floor, eye gaze looking up for our cow. Exhale, push the spine up, pushing the shoulders up into the ceiling, arching the back. You can tuck your toes under here for our cat pose. And, oh no, I think that's the cow, isn't it? And arching your back on the exhale. Inhale, untucking the toes, pushing the back up to the sky. Dropping that head, you can shake your head here. And inhale, pushing the belly down to the floor. You can tuck your toes here. Eye gaze up, really pushing that belly down to the floor. Take a few of these in your own breath time now. Follow your cat. And pushing the belly down for our cow. Tucking the toes under. Remember to focus on your breath. Really planting those knees and those hands into the mat. Come back to a neutral tabletop position when we're ready. Nice flat spine. We're going to tuck our toes under and push up into our downward facing dog. So pushing your bum up, straightening those legs. And if you can, just walk your feet out here. So we're going to bend one leg at a time, pushing the opposite heel into the mat, straightening the left leg, and then straightening the right leg. Feeling this stretch in your hamstrings here, really bringing your belly button to your knee, to your thighs as much as you can, really feeling this stretch in your hamstrings and your upper back. And walking your feet out nicely in your own time. Don't forget to focus on your breath. Come to a neutral standstill and push those heels into the mat. It doesn't matter if they don't touch the mat, we're just pushing them down. Really strengthening this pose. We're going to take a deep breath here, in through the nose, and then an exhale out through the nose. One more. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Plant those hands into the ground and lift your right leg up as we inhale. And then as we exhale, bring that right leg in between your hands and plant it in between your hands. And dropping the left knee and untucking that toe. Bringing your arms up for a low lunge. Fingertips spread, nice and strong, pointing towards the ceiling. Eye gaze out in front of you or eye gaze up if you're feeling like you can balance. We're going to inhale and exhale, pushing that hip down into the floor, down as far as we can. Making sure that your right knee doesn't go over your toes, it's just directly underneath your heel. Lovely. We're going to inhale and exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Option here, lifting the right arm up to the sky, palm outstretched, fingers wide, eye gaze up towards those fingers. Inhale and exhale. Another option here, we can bring our hands to heart center, bring the left arm over onto our knee and pushing our hands to our heart center as we come in for a twist. Inhale and exhale. That's an option, so you can stay there, find whatever's comfortable for you. We could come into a bind if you wish. So bring in your right arm round behind your back and your left arm can clasp your right hand and twist this way, nice and strong, opening the heart. Take whichever posture you feel right and whichever is in your practice. Really pushing that hip down into the mat. Feeling the stretch in your hip flexor. We're going to inhale and place our hand down to the floor. And we're just going to rock back and forwards on that knee. And then we're going to elongate the foot, elongate the knee and reach those fingertips out towards the short end of the mat. Really stretch, flex that foot. Feel a really stretch in your hamstring here. As we inhale and exhale, come forward and then rock back on the inhale. And exhale. And inhale, reach even further forward if you can. It doesn't matter if your knee's not fully straight, mine isn't, but we're just getting all flexed for this. Inhale and exhale, coming back forward. Untuck that back toe, lifting the knee, coming back into a plank pose. Eye gaze down between your hands, elbows directly under your wrists, nice flat back, straight spine. We're going to drop the knees, untuck the toes, bring your elbows in towards your ribs and drop your chest and chin down to the mat. Bum up nice and high and then push down. Bring your elbows in towards your ribs and push up for a little back bend, a little baby cobra. Inhale and exhale, coming back down, forehead on the mat. And rest. Inhale, come back up for a little back bend. And exhale, coming back down to the mat to rest. Inhale, one more back bend. Baby cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes under. You can either come up onto your knees first or just push straight up into a downward facing dog here. Inhale. And exhale, stepping on those toes, And pushing those heels down into the floor. Bring your chest to your knees if you can. Wow. Try and push. It's almost like you're pushing your chest to your knees here. Lovely. And we're going to inhale and step. Step our right leg forward. And we're going to come up for a high lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice strong posture here. We can take a little back bend here if you wish. Arms nice and strong. And coming forward. Hands planted into the mat. And we're just going to walk our foot across to the left side of the mat and drop that knee down, dropping the back knee, dropping the front knee, and placing your shin so that it is on the mat in a diagonal angle. If you wish here, you can sit on a blanket if you just want some comfort. We're going to place our hands onto the mat and we're just going to feel this stretch in our glutes here. Your back leg is nice and straight, toes untucked, pointing those toes. We're just going to come down onto our forearms here if that's comfortable for you. If not, feel free to just stay in this elongated pigeon pose, or you can drop down to your forearms, down to your forehead, and place your forehead onto your hands, one hand on top of the other, forehead onto your hands. If it's further in your practice, you can straighten your hands out across the mat and reach your fingertips as far forward as you can, bringing your forehead down to the mat. We're just going to take a few breaths here and really get comfortable in this pigeon pose, feeling the stretch in your glutes. Focus on your breath. Really slow that breath down. As we inhale through the nose and we exhale through the nose. Letting go of any stress, any worries that we might have this week. It's just been the full moon last night, and this full moon tells us to speak our truths and let go of any stress or fear for the future. On the next inhale, we're going to come up, bring your hands down to the mat, plant those hands into the floor either side of you, untuck that back foot, and then step back into our downward facing dog. Stepping those heels into the floor and pushing that chest to those knees, shaking your head, nodding yes and no. Nice heavy ball and ball head. As we inhale, we're going to lift the left leg. Point it up to the sky. Option here, you can rotate the hip and drop the foot. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to bring that foot forward and step it in between our hands. Drop that back knee and untuck the toe. Bring those arms up for our low lunge position. Pushing that right hip forward and that left hip back, we're going to sink into this lunge. Arms come up and nice wide fingertips. Really strong pose, eye gaze looking up if you wish, or just straight in front of you. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, sinking those hips further into the floor, Making sure that that knee does not go any further than being directly stacked under your heel. We're going to inhale and exhale, bringing those hands down to the mat. You can stay here if you wish, or place your right hand into the mat, bringing your left hand up for a twist. Inhale and exhale. Options here, take whichever option you took before, so hands to heart center, right arm on right knee, and twist, pushing that hand to your heart center, opening your heart. Or option for the bind, bring your left arm behind you and your right arm clasps your left hand. Twist as you lift your chest up and open the heart. Inhale and exhale, take whichever option you wish. Inhale and exhale, bringing those hands down to the mat. And we're going to flex that foot as we sit back, really stretching out those hamstrings here. Reach those fingertips forward as far as you can. As we inhale, we're going to rock forward. And exhale, we're going to push back, reaching our fingertips further. This leg is a lot tighter for me, so it's a little bit more difficult. Do not worry if your knee is slightly bent, it's okay. We're going to inhale, we're going to rock forwards. And exhale, we're going to rock back. Hopefully you can reach a little bit further this time. Inhale. And exhale, reaching even further forward, dropping that head, nice bowling ball heavy head. As we breathe into this stretch. We're going to come forward. We're going to place our hands down onto the mat, untuck that back foot and step back into a plank. Hands either side of the mat, eye gaze between your mat. We're going to hold our breath here for a minute. And you can either drop your knees, chest and chin, or go straight into full chaturanga, lifting one foot, bringing your elbows in towards your ribs and pushing up for an up dog. Inhale and exhale, coming down flat onto the mat and pushing up into our downward facing dog. It's the inhale here and it's the exhale. I'm going to stay here for a minute. You can walk your feet out. Inhale. And exhale, stepping that left leg, in between your hands and pushing up for our high lunge position. Knees stacked directly over your heel. Eye gaze either looking up. We can come for a nice back bend here. As we inhale and exhale, come back to center. Inhale into a back bend and exhale into center. If you want to make this more challenging, you can step on your front toe. So you're stepping on both toes. That's okay, you don't have to if you don't feel comfortable. We're going to inhale and exhale. Bringing our hands down to the mat, walking that left leg across to the other side of the mat, dropping that back knee and bringing your shin down to the mat. Bring your foot in towards you and really sinking those hips into the mat. If you have a blanket here, this is a good time to use it. So you can sit on your blanket. We're just going to take some breaths here. Really get comfortable in this pigeon pose. The back leg is nice and straight once again. Options, coming down to your forearms, coming down to your hands. Forehead either up or forehead on the mat on your hands. however feels comfortable for you. And we're just going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Once again, letting go of any of our stresses or worries. Full of excitement for what's next to come. Restoring balance into our lives, into our routines. In through the nose, and out through the nose. Feeling that stretch really sitting on that hip bone. On the next inhale, we're going to come back up. We can come for a nice little back bend here in our pigeon pose. Eye gaze up, heart open. We can set an intention here. We're going to inhale. And we're going to exhale. Inhale, and on the next out breath, we're going to tuck that foot under and reach back into our downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, place your weight into your hands and walk or float slowly towards the top of your mat. For our halfway forward fold. Knees can be bent here. Bring your chest to your knees or chest to your thighs as much as you can. Option to hold onto the back of your thigh, the back of your ankles, and pull yourself towards you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale for a halfway lift. Hands come to your shins and knees or your thighs. Nice flat back. Eye gaze down. And exhale, come back down to a forward fold. Nice bowling ball heavy head. Shake that head no and nod that head yes. Releasing any tension in our heads or in our minds. Inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, we're going to slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. And exhale into our mountain pose.